I just want to bring up the cast who's here. Everyone who was here before, also Tamara is here. Do you guys just want to come out? Henri, Tamara, Shawn, Blair, and Ashton.
Hubert about this opportunity, this challenge, sort of coming into the space of this film, kind of continuing Charles' work and sort of honoring Charles with this film. You talk about the beginnings for you.
Yeah, I had heard Charles had talked about this project for quite a long time. He grew up as a hockey player at a high level, so this was a real passion project for him. And then when he got sick, and then when he unfortunately passed, I assumed that the project was done, and so when the producers, Anthony and Andrew, approached me, they said, we want to finish it in his honor. I read the script, and I just felt like, I had to do it, but I could see in what he was working on, what he was trying to say, and I think that's, as a director, you have to take that over yourself and apply your own personal vision and story and all that to it, but I knew where he was going, so I felt like I had a path, to take.
Well, it's amazing how much the film, ultimately sort of is a companion of harmony with Black Ice and some of the stories that emerged from Black Ice. I mean, did you really feel like this was, a story for you as well because of the experience with that film?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Black Ice was, I just learned so many stories about Black hockey players' experiences, what they went through, what they struggled with, hockey culture in general, what it was like for them. And so a lot of those interviews and those conversations are kind of infused into the script and into the story.
And I gotta say, it was such an incredible cast. Ashton, what Ashton is able to do with this film is amazing. And third act we talk about kind of connecting with this character and really kind of becoming this character. We'd love to hear about that process.
Becoming the character?
He's done it for the camera, yeah.
I don't think I know how to answer that. I don't know. I trained a lot. Unfortunately, because Charles passed, originally I was supposed to train for 3 months. And back then I was like 140 soaking wet, so it would never work. But then I got to train a lot at Intech High Performance. I think some of them are here. Becky, Tara, are you here? But yeah, I think I had a conversation with Charles once, and he told me early on, he said, I know you can act, but I really want you to embody being an athlete. And I think that was the end. Dean's chasing his dream of making it to the NHL. I've been chasing my dream of, acting and trying to build a sustainable career. So I think that was probably the end, and trying to mesh those two and, convey some sort of hope in that way.
And I'd love to hear from you and Blair about your scenes together are so strong. I'd love to hear about kind of developing those together and kind of finding that rapport that you needed for those scenes.
I think that's my question. I don't know, man. When Blair and I met, it was really lovely. As a young actor, I've always been searching for people to allow me to dig deeper into my work. And I remember our first scene, he looked into my eyes, and I was like, oh shit. The first two weeks we were shooting, Dean was beating everybody up, and I was walking around set feeling like the best guy ever. And then immediately he came and he's like, is that how I touched you at a fight? And I was like, oh shit. At that moment, I felt I felt very small. And I was like, oh, I think that will work for Dean being treated by his pops in those ways. So Blair was just the best ever.
When my wife looks into my eyes and she says, oh shit, what do you want? No, it was just, I can't say enough. I had a chance to watch the film on video last week and to see it here the way it's meant to be seen on a big screen. So much resonated. I'm just so impressed, inspired by your performance, your presence, your depth. It's just wonderful to watch. And this entire cast, man, we've never met. I was like, who is that one? Is killing it. but everybody. So just Hubert, thank you, and Anthony, all of you, thank you for inviting me to the party. It was amazing. But in terms of just our scenes together, it really is, you said